Paris, Nice, Brussels, Berlin, Ankara, Istanbul, London, San Bernardino, Orlando, New York, and now Manchester. It's become such an common occurrence just to see terrorism occurring throughout the Western world. It's too much of an occurrence, and that's not a good thing. In fact, the best situation to describe this is how an MSNBC report said what she said about how there were constant terrorist attacks in Europe. She just said simply, Europe is getting used to this. This is not something we should get used to. I'm so fucking upset right now. How many more people have to die? That's the question. How many more people have to die? In Manchester, it was 22 people, and many of them were about my age. I'm currently 20 years old, and they kill people, and they killed young people, probably even younger than me. And all they do is just laugh. And the media just doesn't acknowledge the problem, neither do the politicians, and a lot of individual social justice warriors just say, oh, this is about white people, or well, this shows that white people are like racist or something, or we should be more tolerant, we should be unified, just be more tolerant, allow open borders, as how Katy Perry puts it. Fuck you! Fuck you! I recall that in the Paris attacks of 2016, one of my friends, who I'm not gonna mention her name, she had a friend who was actually in Paris at the time of the attack. He was killed. How I found this out was I was walking away from a class of mine back in 2016, I think it was, or no, it was 2015. And I think it was back in a political science class. There was mention of the Paris attacks that occurred. When I left with her, she just said, well, that was depressing. And I was like, yeah, it kind of was. But I didn't realize this, I didn't realize this for the moment, but she was crying. And she told me the whole story. How many more people... I'm gonna ask this question again. How many more people have to die? 10? 100? 10,000? When is Europe gonna wake up? No one in the Western world should be getting used to this. It's like getting used to seeing high crime in the ghetto. No one should be able to live through something like this. this is what it's coming out to. ISIS continually hijacks the refugees just coming in through Europe, and then they start blowing themselves up, or starting shooting all over the place, or even ramming people with a car. And yet people do nothing. And they just blame it on other people. If you don't believe me, look on Sargon Avocade's video, which talks about the Manchester bombing. It basically is about how the media is just treating Muslims like they're the victims here. And while part of that is kind of true with the moderate Muslims, because they are so shocked at the amount of this attack. In fact, I saw on Rebel Media of a guy reporting that he just talked to a Muslim man in Manchester, and he was shocked and appalled by what just happened. And yet, we do not address the problem. If we don't address the problem, we will not be able to solve it. President Trump is right. These men don't worship God. They never did. They worship hate. I hope in my lifetime that I see as almost pretty much every single terrorist organization, especially the Islamic State, burned to the ground. That is why I hope will happen. And even if there are those who will survive after the disillusionment of the Islamic State, let me tell you this. You will be judged in the next life. As a Christian, you will be going to hell for what you did. Not only is this immoral, this is also against God. You are pretty much using God's word for your own purposes, and you will be judged by that. You will be judged by that. And I can tell you what the sentence would be from God. I'm sorry, but I just need to get this out there. It's kind of my rant. My name is Noah Meehan, and this is the Arc of Truth.